Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Fatima, hence the name Fatima Fridays. Y'all already know it's a party, it's a party, it's a party. But I am the CEO of Strong Heart to Soul Incorporated, a business where we educate, prevent, and work to eradicate heart disease in underserved community. I am also starting a non for profit, and you guys will be hearing all about that very shortly. So just watch out. That's all I'm gonna say. Just watch out because we coming. Today, I have a wonderful guest here with me by the name of Mark Talley. Mr. Talley is an author. He is an activist out in our community here in Buffalo, New York, and we're going to talk about a lot of different situations, a lot of different topics today, as far as from unfortunately the event that happened on May 14th, the mass shooting at Tops in Western New York, right down to unemployment rates and resources for our communities and things of that nature. So, everyone, just say hello to Mark.
Hello, everyone.
And we're going to get right into it. I'm going to get all in this business because that's what I do. So Mark is our special guest today. Like I said, he's an actor, author, and an activist. Mark is currently on a lot of different boards here in our community, from Habitat to Humanities to Community Action Organization and the African Heritage Food Corp. So I do want to, dig in your business a little bit and ask about those organizations and how you became involved with them.
No problem. I actually got to add, it's been 3 more also since.
Oh, 3 more organizations.
Yep. So community canvases. I'm on the planning board to help build a charter school with the executive director of the E-Tech Foundation, Munira Ali, and hopefully plan on being on the board of Restoration Society, Inc.
Okay, wonderful. That's wonderful. So you have like no time for fun, right? Because you're on a lot of different boards, and you just told me that you don't get to listen to the radio much. So
I try to slip in some Xbox time in there.
Okay. So I know we always usually start out asking, because I'll be all in people business. Are you single?
That's nebulous.
Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all heard that. He don't want to tell us. It's okay. Using all these fancy words. It's okay. He don't want to.
No, I'm newly single, but still, it's nebulous still.
Yeah, I get it. Sometimes it be complicated, I'm newly single as well, guys, but it's in a different aspect. My spouse passed away, so I keep saying I'm single and ready to mingle, but I'm really not. I'm really not. I just want to have a good conversation sometime. That's all, but not really mingling at all.
Hey, go back to that Buff State campus, get you a young boy.
No, I don't.
Get you a cub. Ain't that what
I don't need to raise nobody's kids. Not raising nobody's kids.
You can raise them how you want them.
Nah. I'm not ready for that. Definitely not ready for that. But let's see here. We're starting today. And first and foremost, I want to give condolences to you and the families of the other to you and your family and other families that were affected by 514. I know that it was a day that changed your life forever, and it changed the world, honestly. So in our community, the African American community, mothers are held to the highest standards. We adore our parents, our mothers, for the most part. Some, daddies, but no, I love my dad, so But mothers are held to this high standard, and because of that, we all give you our condolences and give the rest of the families their condolences as well. Not just mothers, but everyone that was affected on May 14th. The Jefferson 10 will always be honored and missed in our community. And thank you for keeping their legacy alive.
Oh, no problem. Thank you for the condolences.
Yeah, no worries. So what made you fall in love with activism and community outreach?
I had the background. I went to school for urban planning with a specialty for urban urban transportation. I got my financial economics degree with a specialty in socioeconomics. I mean, plus when I look back on some of my old Facebook memories, the stuff I was, along with the trash stuff, along with some when my smartness did show back then, it showed there
Mhm.
was an inkling in there to do something with activism. But unfortunately, it came to a fruition to come out of me on May 14th.
Yeah. Yeah. You never know. You never know what, God has in store for you. And I definitely understand that. And I'm glad. I'm sad that it had to be that tragedy to bring it out. But I'm glad that you're finding purpose in it. You understand where I'm coming
Hmm.
from? It's such a hard thing to say or talk about because, like you said, the devil came to Buffalo, and it's sad and it's horrible. And you always think that that will never happen in your community or never in your town or never where you live. So I know how I felt that day and how I was shocked. And I'm here in Niagara Falls, which is 20, 30 minutes away, but my daughter was on her way to Buffalo, and I was like, oh my God, wait, I don't want you to go. So we just didn't know. We didn't know what the circumstances was. We didn't know what was going on. It was a live newscast, and it's just very sad. And I've seen this happen in Colorado. I've seen it happen in New Mexico. We've seen it happen in so many other places. But never did we ever think it would happen at home. And I didn't. I don't know about anyone else, but I didn't think it would happen at home. But I can't say enough. Like I'm proud of you for standing up for Jeffersonton and standing up for your community. But I'm also saddened at the same time that you have to, you know. So I'm sure you get a lot of different emotions about the situation all the time, right?
You get used to it after a while. From you got the guys coming up to you, want to dap you up, say, so strong,
Hmm.
Then you got the old women who want to come up, give you hugs and kisses.
Slip you a peppermint. Yeah, I could imagine. I could imagine. Um, so some things that I've been noticing that's going on, and some things that I see in our communities. I look at the poverty rate. 30% in Buffalo, which is higher than the national average. The national average is only 12%. We're 30%. That's crazy to me. Um, the unemployment rate is also higher. We are at 4.5%. These things in the African American community are so much higher than what's going on in other communities. How do we change that? How do we start the process? What can I do? I see you doing some things. What can I do? How do we get involved with changing our communities?
Unfortunately, I think it's a systemic, issue. A lot of people want to go out there and blame Byron Brown, but I think that's kind of low hanging fruit right there.
Hmm.
You want to blame the first person that you see or know in politics.
Yeah.
And granted, I mean, does he have his faults and stuff he could have done or do better in the community? Absolutely, but I think it's not Byron Brown's fault. These corporations is coming in and undercutting, you know, all these mom and pop shops,
Hmm.
or it's not his fault that mom and pop shops can't be built in the African American community.
Hmm.
Now, if you want to blame him on the potholes, go for it. But it's not his fault that companies, consistently want to, give low wages to black and brown people.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's I read recently another community or was coming into the Buffalo area and buying up all these locations, and starting like grocery stores, for instance. The Indian community was coming in, and buying these little corner stores up, and and that's wonderful because that gives their people opportunity. That gives their people um, a living wage. But what are we doing for us? Is my question. Like, are we starting these? Are we not getting the funding that they're getting? Are we not? We don't know enough. Because if you don't know, you don't know, and that's the financial aspect of it. If you don't, I try to teach my son about financial discipline, credit, and things of that nature. But if my mama didn't teach me, how am I supposed to teach him? You know, so it's an ongoing battle. How do we as the community stand up for ourselves and say, hey, we need to stop letting everybody else come in and do it, and we need to do it for us.
This sounds like a conversation me and my best friend actually had a week ago. Paul Perez, um,
Hi,
he,
Paul.
him, and Andrew Scott. In this organization they started, I believe, for the Buffalo chapter. Nate, NIRAB, yes. All right, you know the acronym for it? All right, National Association of Real Estate Brokers. Yes, real estate. Yep, go with that. I know. All right, and it's like how we're not taught in the Black community financial literacy stuff, and you have other racial minorities or demographics, cultures coming from out the country into the country, knowing how to play the system and how we're in this country, but we don't even know how to play it. So instead of playing it for our benefit, we am I saying it right? Lament.
Layman, I
Yeah,
believe.
we like lament the situation and kind of we blame others instead of trying to get into this system to play.
Yeah, I see that a lot. We do blame. We so
Like it's only so much you can keep blaming. I mean,
Yeah, and but that's just like the saying, pull yourself up from your bootstraps. You know,
it is.
it sucks because that we have to do that. Number one, number two, when we tried to do that, you came in and wiped us out. You know, there's like the Tulsa massacre and things of that nature. So the Black Wall Street. You know, so all of these things, unfortunately, has to do with racism, and racism, unfortunately, is everywhere all the time. And it feels like to me, again, I'm not, I don't got no degrees in none of this, okay? But my feeling is, if we were able to continue our Black Wall Street and things, how much further will we be right now? They always not I shouldn't say they always, but certain, they tear us down. And with that comes now the struggles that we face today. And it's unfair. And I don't know about like when people say like we need some reparations and all of that different kind of stuff. Sure, you're gonna give us some money, great. But are we gonna do the right things with it once we get it is the question. But it's hard for us because we don't know. And I keep trying to tell my, the children that I hang with or be with or whatever, education is key. You have to educate yourself. You have to know that there's something different out there. And you have to educate yourself to get there, to work towards that. So with systemic racism, 85% of African Americans in the city live on the east side of other over Main Street. And studies show that that is the poorest community in Buffalo. What do we do about that? How do we do anything about
Well, we got to get more funding, but unfortunately, we can't get more funding because that area doesn't make the most money to provide funding back to the city.
that?
It's the most lowest education rates, the worst health rates. Um, I believe, did I say educational?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the worst of all of that. So if you're looking at if the government, if they're looking to want to fund communities, it'll seem like a bad investment for them to want to put money into this area. You combine that with gentrification and redlining. It's like, do I want to put my money, in this poor Black area where 2 out of the 3 Black men over there may not even have a high school diploma, or do I want to just put it in Williamsville? I'll get a nice
Yeah.
sizable return at least.
Yeah. And how do we so what do we as far as okay, and honestly, I'm gonna be like, okay, go on with Williamsville because that's where your money at. You know what I'm saying? But so how do we get these businesses to see us without having to go through a tragedy? How do we I don't know. I don't know if you know. You know what I'm saying? Like, but how do we engage them in us
And that's the point. Most businesses doesn't want to come into black areas. They don't want to come into areas, unfortunately, where they see a lot of Family Dollars or liquor stores, because now they're
Mhm.
thinking to themselves, we're going to have to compete with these Family Dollars
Mhm.
and liquor stores.
Yeah, which is absolutely nuts because when you go down Elmwood, it's beautiful. You got state of the art center, all of that beautiful stuff over there. And then when you come to our community, it's run down, it's raggedy, and it's horrible. It's really horrible. Um, but it's crazy because I'm a homeowner. Um, and I've just become a homeowner. I'm seeing homes now on Zillow and things like that rent uh, $1,300 a month for a 2 bedroom. Like, who in the world is rent? How? Like, we're the lowest income, we're the lowest education, but yet y'all want us to pay y'all $1,300 for these apartments. Like, how does this work? How do we get out of this? Because it doesn't. Everything is going up, and we are going to be the ones that are left behind. What do you see?
Unfortunately, that's capitalism at its finest right there.
Yeah.
You know, if you got one landlord looking across the street, seeing this landlord just raise their rent up to from maybe 1,100 to 1,500, and the property value of their property just went up in value from maybe it's worth 200,000 to 250,000. The
Yeah.
person across the street, that other landlord, is thinking, well, if I can get maybe an extra, I got two apartments in my property,
Mhm.
I can maybe get an extra if I raise my rent up 400 per person. That's at minimum another $800 for me. So it's just,
This is so unfair.
how do you tell people don't partake in capitalism?
Right.
Just don't worry about making $800.
More. Right. Right. Because I know I want that extra $800 too.
And this is
Like.
why we got to learn how to play this game. If you look on, you know, the east side of Buffalo, half of us becoming now what, little Bangladesh right now, and they're buying up property, they're buying supermarkets, pharmacies, and they're catering to their own. And unfortunately, we don't want to cater to our own.
Again, we're being left behind.
Like, they practice group economics, and we don't.
Hmm.
Like, we'll rather go to the Chinese stores to get food instead of going to our owns to get food. And we
Absolutely.
judge our owns as this place is ghetto. We
Hood.
don't. Yeah, we'll easily go to that Chinese store on Fillmore, and it's lots of stuff I've seen there, or the gas station right across the street.
Listen, I don't know Fillmore or the gas station or none of that, but I used to live in Philadelphia, and it was this Chinese store on the corner of my house, and I would literally see de-haired cats in the back alley,
Mm.
and they can't tell me that they not why you got a de-haired cat? Why dead? Like, so you chopping up this cat and putting it somewhere? You cannot tell me that somebody ain't feeding that to them people and they thinking they got Chinese food. Just like in Niagara Falls, at one point in time, it was a deer. They had deer behind a restaurant, a dead deer behind the restaurant, which a lot of people eat deer, but are you giving these people Chinese food? Talk about this deer? Like, that's,
Yeah,
that's
that's a
crazy.
discount actually. I'm gonna go see what's up.
I don't know about that.
They
I don't want it,
they
but
may be charging the wrong prices if they
I
giving
don't
dip.
know. I don't know. I don't know if it's good or bad, but that's not what was supposed to be there.
You
And
want to eat no
now
deer ribs?
I don't think I've ever had deer before. So, no. I mean, I probably might try it, but I've never had it. I don't know. But I don't know. So let's talk about the book. The title is 514, The Day the Devil Came to Buffalo. Before this book, were you a writer? Were you writing?
No, I mean, I done wrote a couple, thesis papers. One of them got published
Oh, okay.
eventually, but that was it.
That was it. Okay. So this was your first time writing a book.
Hmm.
Okay. So tell us, how did you come to this? Like, did you wake up a couple weeks and say, you know what, I need to write a book? Like, how did this come to you?
Or we had an event that we sponsored along with the Erie County Public Library to bring author Jackie Abrams up here.
Mm, okay.
She's an international award-winning best-selling author who wrote the book Hush Money: How One Woman Dealt with Systemic Racism and Kept Her Job in the Workforce.
Mm,
And she
write that
came up
down,
here
child.
and we both talked and we bonded both over our dealings with racism and trauma from it. And she advised me to take my trauma and make something of it and write out my feelings and emotions like she did with hers.
Right.
And I did that over the course of the next 8 months. She advised me, helped me out, even wrote the foreword to my book,
Oh,
and eventually came out and became on Amazon's one of Amazon's best new releases.
that's excellent. Congratulations
Oh,
on
thank
that.
you.
That is excellent. And I noticed that you do like poem things. Are you? I seen that you were promoting um like a poet night or something of
I
that
did a poem. Okay, I do so many events, I start forgetting them.
nature.
Now this all started because I asked one of my friends, Bianca McGraw and Jay Hawkins, aka Cassius Green, and I was saying, hey, do poets ever get into like a poet battle, a cipher battle?
Hmm.
And he was telling me, yeah, they do all the
All
time.
the
So I figured I
time.
want to see this,
Yeah.
and I decided, from there, about 2 3 months later, I wanted to have a poet battle and see, some of the best, black and minority talent here in the city. And
Okay.
it was definitely an interesting, very interesting, good time.
Yeah.
And I just wish I could be as talented to go up there and start speaking, but it's easy to public speak about stuff you know about. It's a lot harder to get up there and try to rap or say your art and hopefully people like it or
And get
hopefully
some
you're good at it.
and get some snaps.
They tried to get me up
Yeah,
there,
I was gonna ask.
just
Did you go up there?
they said say anything, say
Mm.
some other people's lyrics. I can say so many Jay-Z lines right now verbatim. The second
Hmm.
I went up there, all
Gone.
that, yep.
I used to write poetry. That's why it stood out to me.
Mm.
Um, I used to, but
All right, you're gonna have to come to our next one we
mm,
gonna do.
yeah, okay, I'll come. I ain't getting on there. I ain't doing no lyrics. I'm not. I don't. I haven't done that in a very very long time. But I was that was my first job I ever wanted was to be a writer.
A Fatima Friday freestyle?
I
I'm just saying.
don't think so. I can't. I can't. I wanted to be a writer. I wanted to when I imagined my life. I wanted to be with no kids, of course, sitting on a little bench in Paris, in front of the Eiffel Tower with my notebook writing. That's what I wanted to do. So that's how it like came into communications and all of that different kind of stuff.
I'm saying
And
once
now
your
I
daughter
talk too
turns
much.
18,
That's only 4 more years,
you
you
go to
know.
Buff State, get you a young 18, 19-year-old, wait till he get his student refund check. He gonna try
Oh,
to impress you.
so I'd take his money and go to Paris.
Exactly.
No, I could never do that. I could never. You buy me a Topher bag. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
All
I'm
right, he
kidding.
gonna try to impress you.
No, no. I have a son that's 23 years old tomorrow, so I could never take advantage of anyone's child. Because I'd be trying to fight somebody if they took advantage of mine.
You won't let your son date a 50-year-old?
No, absolutely. First of all, I ain't 50. First of all, let's get that
I'm
right.
just saying your son date a. I didn't say you was 50.
No, 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 no. I would have to let him know. Like that's you can't a younger man that's 23 years old can't handle a 50-year-old
Hey, I
man.
was out here.
You was
I'm out of town.
listen, he was sucking in his brows.
Like back when I was in my
No.
younger days, still the same height, a lot more in shape, had the muscles showing. I was 8. I would purposely try to walk around the 30, 40-year-olds. Got me a tank top on.
What? No. He said he was out here.
I
I
can't
would
wear the tank top no more. I got muscles in certain areas. I got all the muscles no more.
well, okay. So I would not suggest to my son that he date someone much, much older because we have, we have issues that we have to or had. We had to work out, and I guess young girls do too, but it's different. Dating Frank, you got something to say? Because you looking like you got something to say.
I'm saying that going forward in progressive years into adulthood, Pretty Ricky said it best. Age ain't nothing but a number in its proper context. You don't know no foul things, but hey,
I think Aaliyah said that first.
Did she say it
that
first?
R. Kelly got it.
yeah, I'm just saying
you
this.
see that got him.
But I'm saying, somebody, 40, 50, 60, 70. If that's your wheelhouse, we're on, young man. We're on.
You guys are hilarious, but it's cute. It's real cute.
This 39-year-old woman, she made me lunch one time too after class, bought me some sweatpants. I was ready to marry her.
Not sweatpants. Were they gray? Look, she say gray. She was just trying to see.
That was a long time ago.
We got some comments, Frank.
Shara says hi.
Hello, Shara. I don't know who that is. Oh, Kiara. I'm like, Shara. Hi, Kiki. That's another Buff State alumni. That's it? Okay, cool. So, yeah, so getting back to, so you said you're not necessarily a poet, but you are definitely now an author. So that's fine. That's wonderful. How do you feel? So first of all, what do you do for Habitat for Humanity? Because I know I actually got in a Habitat for Humanity home. I was blessed by them, and it was a lot. It was $500 hours of
sweat equity
sweat equity hours and all of that different kind of stuff. So I do. Anybody who's out there looking for a home and you are able to get a mortgage and you work on your credit and things of that nature, definitely check out Habitat for Humanities. What do you do for them?
All right,
with them?
All right, I'm on the board, and basically we're trying to help underrepresented communities and people get a home, improve their credit score, along with improve any type of repairs on their homes, mainly right now in the East Side area.
Okay. Well, that's great because it's a lot of homes over there that definitely need it. It's a lot of what I've noticed, even in Niagara Falls, people own their home forever. Like my grandmother's home, I think she brought it when I was in kindergarten. I'm 45 years old now. And we just pass it down, from generation to generation. And it's a lot of homes that's like that and that don't have or haven't been able to keep up with the repairs and things of that nature that's needed.
And unfortunately, that's why, we miss out in the community on a lot of this generational wealth from systemic laws that were put in place by the home. I forgot the governing body organization, but they had laws in place that prevented us from buying a home.
Yeah. And then when you wanted to buy a home, you could only buy it in certain areas because of redlining. And we didn't know. Again, if you don't know, you don't know. That seems to be a trend. If you don't know, you don't know. So if your parents didn't teach you the right thing about buying homes or credit, the school definitely not going to teach you. So where do you learn from? You know what I'm saying? Like my mother never owned a home, so it was my responsibility to go out there and teach myself. And some of us just don't see that as so I taught myself, and then I taught my son. First thing he went out and did is bought an Audi. But I digress. Not a home, but an Audi. But at least he was able to purchase something on his own. I didn't have to co-sign for him. He was able, and he still has it. He works very hard to take care of it. But the pride of buying a home when you purchase your first home, and that was my first home, and you feel a different type of pride. You feel a connection to your community and things of that nature. And I think that's what a lot of us need to bring our community back. Where, we see little John on the corner shooting dice or something, we're going to say, hey, take that down the street. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want that in our communities, So I think that kind of the Habitat for Humanities has definitely been a godsend for me in that situation. I definitely feel a part of the community, and I don't know my neighbors that much, but we talk. We say, "Hey, hey, girlfriend," and we keep it moving.
And unfortunately, people think Habitat is only for, refugee communities or
And it's
other different
not.
cultures. So that's what we're trying to,
Yes,
fight the stigma of.
absolutely. Yeah. And honestly, 500 hours is not bad. The problem is in Niagara Falls with our Habitat for Humanity, they only build in the summertime. So it takes a long time for the whole building of the house and all that different kind of stuff. A lot of people think, oh well, I can start it, and it's gonna be 4, 5, 6 years before I get in the house, and that is not necessarily the case. In Buffalo, I know they work year round though, correct?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Close to year round. No,
So
unless we get any big type of winter storms
of
happening.
course, goodness, God forbid. No, I'm praying so hard that we don't have what we had last year. I was in Florida during the storm last year, so I was safe. But
I'm ready this time. I got me a generator, got my moccasins, got
listen,
me
I'm
some duffel
not.
bags. I'll be going checking on everybody.
Yeah, I'm not. You're gonna put some your bag. You're gonna put some plastic bags in your boots. Remember, you too young for that. Our parents used to buy us these boots when we were little, and we used to put like Ziploc bags or tops. They had tops bags. We would put them in our boots where our feet wouldn't get wet, and we'll go on and walk to school. That's
That was the
all.
purpose of the plastic bags.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. That's the tops bag. They would put them all in one counter, one cabinet. Go and get you a tops bag and put it in them boots. We'll tie them around our ankles and walk to school.
I don't think plastic would make a great insulator, but see,
It
once
was
again, they
it
learning from what their parents
yeah,
told
that
them,
was
and we all learning possibly something wrong.
yeah, that's absolutely true. It wasn't a good it kept your socks warm. I mean, it kept your socks dry. That was the purpose, to keep not cold, but it kept it dry. So there's a difference. But yeah.
It was good for outside dryness, but then them same boots kept on inside. It's like getting
Yeah.
hot and
And funky.
a little sweaty.
Absolutely. But it did its due, everybody could buy Timberlands back then in the day, but it did its due. So hi Raja, how you doing, honey? Um who is or was, I know this changes through the years in life, your role model?
I can say a lot now. Growing up, I was just a different child. Growing up, I really
Mhm.
didn't
Tell us, how
have
was it
role
growing
models.
up?
I only really looked up to my mother because she was the only one that was constantly there.
Mhm.
But as of right now, role models would be you were talking about dads earlier. Garnell Whitfield. He's an amazing role model. I mean, I see the stuff that he does with his children, his family, and I'd be like, man, Garnell, you want to adopt? Let me
I'm
be a
only
part of the
33.
Whitfield family. I see Zanetta Everhart, what she's doing with her son, their book club.
Mhm.
Um, her along with Garnell traveling countrywide, getting their stuff out regarding gun violence. She's definitely a big role model. I mean, if I ever decide to become a politician, I would definitely ask her for advice.
Mhm.
Pastor Giles, uh, Lenny Lane.
Mhm.
I started working out with both of them when I first started, volunteering on Jefferson, and being around Lenny. It's always a good time with a Lenny.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's wonderful. And again, I tell my kids all the time, like your mother, father, brothers, those should be your role models. Like looking to the internet or to the culture sometimes for a role model, it could be very dangerous because those type of things and what they think are good is not always necessarily good. And
Oh, and Mayor Byron Brown and Pastor Prison. I specifically asked both of them. Unfortunately, they both receive a lot of disdain here in the city in
really,
certain areas.
hmm,
I remember asking them, how do you deal, when you got people who hate you or criticize you.
mhm.
Um, And they just told me that, you just got to get over it, know what you're doing is correct.
Yeah.
I'm not at that point yet. I'm ready to. I love getting in people's face a lot.
Mm. Okay.
And so it comes with its good and bad, you know, repercussions.
Yeah. I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
One of, if not one of the biggest major leaders here in the city of Buffalo.
Okay. All right. I like that. I like that a lot.
Was it the
Um,
Black Achievers list that came out, the Buffalo Business First, when they say one of the most influential or powerful men or black people, I want to be number one on that.
okay. That's a high standard. That's wonderful though. You gotta definitely build and make yourself you gotta have a goal. And I'm glad that you have a goal. That's wonderful. Um, what do you plan to do to get there? What do you see as far as I know you have the advocacy. Oh, I have it here. How do you say it?
Oh, Agents for Advocacy. I done
Agents for
heard all of it.
advocacy.
Advocacy agent,
My
agent for
listen.
change.
We'll say I'm 45 and I'm getting old. So yeah, my brain be everywhere. So agent for advocacy. What is that? And how do you see that being a role or one of the roles in Buffalo? One of the largest.
All right, the primary mission and vision of the organization is to spread awareness on socioeconomic inequality while shedding light on racism, systemic racism, along with providing and hoping that we can provide a safe haven in the future where one's race, one's environment doesn't dictate one's future.
Mm.
And along with my current future, well, come October 10th, current employer, Community Action Organization of Western New York, I would definitely love to hope and help leverage both of those positions along with connections in the city that I have to eventually get to my personal ultimate goal.
And what is your personal?
Oh, to be number one.
Just to be
Hmm.
okay. To be number one.
Be able to,
I hear you. And that's a great, like I said, that's a great goal. We need strong African American leaders in our community. Bottom line, we need us because we see a lot of, well, you've named a few, but we need a lot more because a lot of our children are the ones that are out there not doing well, not doing right, not knowing, not learning, um, dropping out of school, things of those natures. But we need to grab them up, and we need a lot of times I feel like it's on the moms to do that, and it's hard for a mother to do that with their child or with children in the community. Like I personally, I deal with my daughter and her friends, and they kind of all look up to me. But who does the football players look up to? So they need that just as much as a cheerleader would need a female. They need the male role of that, and I admire you for that because that's a wonderful thing to want to help your own community. I do the same in my community, but it's not an easy job either. It's not. And I know that you're with your non for profit. When did you start the non for profit and how has it been going?
became incorporated July 5th, official 501c3, October 24th. I thought it would be more of a slow burn, and it's more like a wildfire right now.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's excellent.
We've constantly been having events. We have one coming up this Saturday at Johnny B. Wiley Stadium
Okay, tell us
from
about it.
12 to 3 p.m. It's going to be a Ink and Melanin event celebrating Black authors. So it's going to be myself, Zanetta with Zanetta Zaire's book club, Chantel Lynette. She's the head of That Brown Bag. She recently just got named to Buffalo Business First, most powerful Black woman in Western New York. Curtis Page. He has a book signing October 8th at Barnes and Noble. Isaiah Gray, Sonia Banks, Mia Burse, and Mia. She actually has a book talking about financial literacy and saving money. Cara Oliver Perez. She had a best-selling book on Amazon. You Go Girl, along with her latest books. Oh, she about to hate me. I forgot this name of the second one.
It's
You know,
okay.
You Go King, and her recent one, Pass the Peas Like We Used to Do.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Well, and that's
Oh, one more. Bianca McGraw as well. Her book, she's also going to be doing coffee paintings.
oh, okay, cool.
I swear, I hope I didn't forget anybody. My
Try
bad
to
if I
fill his
forgot
head and
y'all.
not his heart.
It's
You
early. I
know.
haven't ate.
We gonna get on some food though. So that is what day is that again? This
This
Saturday,
Saturday from 12 to 3 p.m.
12 to 3 at the Johnny B. Wiley. So if you guys want to support, please, please do so. Please come out.
That and our Thanksgiving events that we're doing too.
Oh, what events are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Last year I did a double Thanksgiving event on the east side and west side. This year I'm keeping it about a week apart. So on November 11th, I'm partnering with Desiree Parker and her daughter on Jefferson, and we're going to be passing out Thanksgiving meals,
Great.
Thanksgiving grocery bags, I should say.
Okay, so they got to take it home and cook it themselves.
Well, we're going to make sure it's easy to cook. We're trying to get basically cans of yams, corn, string beans, peas, pies. We're trying to get 8 to 10 pound turkeys or Cornish hens. And I'm going to be doing that with them, possibly as well with some members of BSF as well, Rick Hyde, and on
Where, if we wanted to donate, where do we donate to?
to myself. You can just message me on Facebook at Mark Talley or Agents for Advocacy, or on Instagram, Agents for Advocacy. And we're doing the exact same thing a week later, November 18th, on the west side with rapper Ballistic Man and Kitty.
Okay, that's dope. I love the fact that you are all over the place and you're not just in the East Coast, on the East Side. I said the East Coast. Listen to me.
Okay.
Let's charge it to my head, not my heart. I'm telling y'all. But I love the fact that it's for your community, but and also other communities because no matter what, we're all together. We're all in this fight together for equality. No
Like I said,
matter
if we're
what.
both struggling, ain't no point to
Absolutely.
struggle. Look at each other
Absolutely.
and look down upon them if we're all in the same boat.
Absolutely. I agree. Everyone does not, but I do agree. Um, so if we needed to find you, as far as tell us your socials.
All right, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, all of that, just Agents for Advocacy will pop right up. And for just me personally on Facebook, Mark Talley.
And I noticed I also you spoke about community action organization.
Mm-hmm.
What is your role there?
I'll be the new Community and Family and Partnership Director.
Okay. And what would that consist of, the director?
Trying to get families into the early Head Start program.
Oh, okay, wonderful. And now that's where it starts. I agree that kids, you got to get them young. Yeah, kid. Dude, really? That's my son. He know where I'm at. He know what I'm at.
No, put him on. See what he did a 50-year-old.
He's gonna kill me. Deontay, before you talk, I am on the radio show right now. How can I help you? Yes, I did. But I'll call you back.
Is this a FaceTime?
Yeah.
Nah, they were turning him around. Let me ask him. Let me ask him.
Somebody got to ask you a question.
What you said his name is?
Deontay.
Deontay, what's going on, man? I got a quick question for you. All right, would you date a 50-year-old?
It depends on what? That's not even a good. What do you mean? It depends. Depends on what?
What she look like, what type of person she is, everything.
Deontay, you're about to be 23.
Don't mean nothing.
Oh my God, you are trying.
Like Maya, Sanai Lathan, Nia Long.
Oh God, now we got callers. No, you're not dating no 50-year-olds. Goodbye.
Hi, this is Bob Hansen.
No, thanks, Bob.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah. No. I'm sorry, guys. That was my son. We had to ask him about the 50-year-old question, and to my disbelief, he would date a 50-year-old. Like, for what? You couldn't even understand her. But whatever.
I just had an Uber driver of mine told me all his mom's friends once she died started hitting on him.
Oh my goodness. We out here like that though? Little tigers. What they call cougars, right?
He
We out
said he
here like
regretted
that.
it, but he said he took one off.
Oh no. He took her down. He took her down. Okay, well, ladies, I need to ask y'all because a lot of my friends and family are watching. Y'all over 45, 50. Would y'all date a 25-year-old? Because me, I'm like, absolutely not. Like, for what? But maybe I'm missing out on something here.
Drake, you said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time.
Miss Richardson Studio, how you doing, boo? I don't know how old you are, but would you date a 25-year-old? I'm just asking because the people out here want to know. So, I mean, I guess maybe I am a little old school because, I got a 23-year-old son. I'm like, wait a minute.
Hey, he ready. He said that
I
quick.
know. I was so surprised. Wow. The things that you learn every day and the things that you learn on Fatima Fridays, you just never know. So, Mark, you have been wonderful. Thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else that you want to get out to your community, to your followers before we go?
Feel free once again, come by to support us this Saturday, Johnny B. Wiley Stadium. Feel free to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, Agents for Advocacy. And if you would like to donate for our Thanksgiving event, you can just contact Agents for Advocacy, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook.
Okay. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being here and engaging in Fatima Fridays and Fire 716 Radio. I was really excited about having you here because I know all the great things that you do in the community, and I admire that.
Oh,
So,
thank you so much.
yes, wonderful. Is there anything that you would like us to know about your mom that that you would just like to get out there?
She was an amazing cook. Definitely miss her cooking. I probably can't eat it no more. I'm trying to lose weight, get my blood pressure, back in order. But yeah, she was definitely an amazing cook, wonderful person. As much older Black women are amazing cooks because the younger ones don't cook, which is another reason,
Yeah. Yeah,
so
funny.
spend that in
that's
there.
why you gotta get you an old one, huh?
You get you a 55-year-old woman, she gonna know how to just randomly cook you some baked beans, fried chicken wings, some catfish.
Okay, all right. I hear you. He throwing out all the hints about the old woman, y'all. So he out here if y'all looking for him. Okay, he is definitely out here. What else did I want to ask you? I think that's about it, Mark. It was wonderful. Guys, the book is still on Amazon. 5/14, the day that the devil came to Buffalo. Go out, grab that book for Mark, and learn some things. See how he felt in those moments. And we're gonna still pray for the Jefferson 10 and their family and friends and everyone that was affected by this senseless act of violence. Thank you guys so much for being here with us today in Fatima Fridays. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.